Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So yesterday we were stuck on the soft link issue. So okay, CD Red Hat. X file. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a soft link for this file here. Okay, so for you to do that, you have to give the full path of the file. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to do pwd, and then you have to give ln -s /root/x file. Okay, and the location you want to create a soft link. So I'm going to create it in the folder Red Hat here. Okay, Red Hat. And then here you could give the same name or you could give the different name here. So I'm going to give X file 1 and hit enter. Okay. So what will happen is now I go into Red Hat folder, and if I do ls, the file is X file 1 is there. Okay. So if I do ls-l, ls-l. Okay, now you should see X file, the newly created file here, and it's pointing to this file here. So what will happen is this is just a soft link, and you could cat it or do whatever you with it, but if the original file is deleted, then this soft link is no good. Okay, so if this file is deleted, this file is still there and nothing happens to this file. Okay, original file. So let's see, if I do cat X file 1, I could see the content here. Okay, and then if I go back, or if I add something to the file, echo this is line 3, and I close this, and then I'm going to add this to X file 1. So it adds it to the line here. So let's do cat X file 1. You see the new line is added here. And if I go to my original directory, and the file we are messing around is X file only. Okay, and if I do cat, and the file is there. Okay, so let's look at the stat for this X file. Okay, it says the link is, there is only one link here because the symbolic link or a soft link has its own inode number. If the inode number is same, then it will have more than one link to the file here. If the file is different, then what it is it's a different file. You see here the inode number here and here is different, and the link is, it says link is only 1. Okay, so that's the difference between the hard link and soft link. So soft link is just the shortcut, but it has its own inode number, and if the soft link is deleted, the hard link is still there. But if the hard link is deleted, let's go back here and I do ls, I do rm x file, yes, and let's go back into the previous directory. If you do ls-l, and you will, when you see something like this highlighted here, that means the link is broken. Can you cat this? Cat x file? Nope, there is no such file or directory here. Okay, all right. So this is considered shortcut to the file, okay? And soft link is also known as a symbolic link. If somebody would say, I want to create a symbolic link, that means they want to create a symbolic link or a soft link in the short or symlink. Symlink, symbolic link, or soft link, they all mean the same thing, okay? And inode number, inode number is different from original file. Okay, and if the soft link is deleted, or if the original file is deleted, then symlink is useless. Okay, so we created this file here in this folder, okay? So this is the destination. And while creating symlink, you have to provide absolute path for the source file. Okay, does it make any sense here? Any questions? Okay. And
Uh, I
yeah,
I
go.
have a one question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, can this symbolic link or a hard link can be created for the folder, or it's just for the file?
I'm coming to it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm coming to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's see. That's a good question. And I did a copy everything here. Okay, so yesterday I didn't put much information about hard link. I'll update that after the class, okay? Alright, so adding the content here, deleting the original file, and this file. Uh, so if you do cat file 1, you will get no file or directory. Okay, now let's talk about the directories here, okay? So, directories. So, hard link. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna cd. I'm gonna do ls here. So I'm gonna create a directory here, mkdir. Okay, and well, no. So let me go into this folder here, test. Okay, so nothing is in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do ln, and I'm creating a hard link here. So what I'm doing here is /root/ red hat. Okay, and then I'm going to create the link in test folder here, and I'm going to give the name redx. Okay, so it's saying ln hard link not allowed for the directory. So you are not able to create a hard link for the directory here. Okay, hard links are not allowed for the directory. However, the soft link is allowed. Directories are not allowed. So let's try to make a soft link here. -S. Whenever you do -S, that means it's a soft link. Okay, and I hit enter. So the soft link is created. Let me go into cd test. And if I do ls-l, you could see the directory has been created with the soft link here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, yeah. Well, give me one moment here. Let me paste this. And let's do stat redx. So the inode number, it's the same thing again. The inode number will be the soft link can only create so let's look at the inode number. Inode number here is 2862005, and then let's look at the inode number for the other drive, other disk. I'm sorry, other directory. Stat red hat. Okay, so here's the trick here. The inode number for the directory is same. Okay, but if you delete the soft link, nothing will happen to the original drive, original directory. But if you delete the original directory, the soft link is useless. Okay. All right. So if I do cd red hat, and if I do ls, you could see the content here, right? So let me go back into the test folder here. And if I do ls here, the redx folder is there. So if I do cd in there, and if I do ls, and I'll see the same exact content here. Okay. Inode will be same for symlink and original directory. Okay, so it's clear so far, right? So let me put this also in here.
So can you tell me one thing, like when we have like a more reliable, it's like a hard link is more reliable for us, so why we are making a soft link then?
So what will happen is later the system, this will be used to reduce the number of files in the system.
Soft link, you said.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
have the soft link here, the size of the soft link is nothing, right? It's just
Mm,
pointing to that directory or the file there. So if you have like two different files in the same day, two different location, then there is a disk usage being used, right? So rather than that, you would use the soft link here. Instead of soft link is used more often compared to hard link. Okay? Hard
okay.
link is a directory cannot have a hard link. A directory could have only soft link. A file can
Okay.
have a hard link as well as soft link.
Okay.
Okay, good. And only directory inodes soft link is the same. For the files, they are different. For the soft link as well as I'm sorry, for the hard link, the inode is different, right? For the hard link, let's take a look. Okay, so the
For the
hard
files
link.
are different. You said for the files are different and for directory is same, right?
No, for the hard link file, for the hard link it's same.
A file for the hard drive is same. Okay.
Okay, and then
Yes.
the directory soft link is same.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's different for the soft link between the files. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So let's see here. So let's point out the inode number. You see inode number is same here, and you see it says two links. Okay, and inode number is different from original for symlink. Yeah. So inode is same here, and you have to give still the um, provide absolute path while creating symlink. And ls file cd and the content of the directory will be same. All right, so we have enough about this symlink here. This is just a concept here. Once you do it couple times here, you will get it. Okay, all right, let's move on and let's see what else we have here. Okay. All right, as far as the basic commands, these are all the basic commands. So we're gonna move into the directory structure. So we'll take a look how the directories are built inside here, inside the Linux operating system. Okay, so for the Linux, in Linux, any Linux version, the file starts from, the operating starts from this here. It's called root. I think I talked about root, right? And in root, you have all these different directories in here. Okay, these are very essential directories that has a very important function going on in there. Okay, so we'll take a look and document each directory, what it means here. Okay, so let's go in here. Directory structure. Okay, this one, I like this one here. See how these directories are. So let me copy this. Okay, so here, this is a perfect example what we are looking at here. So slash root is the very topmost directory here. That is where the operating system starts. If you lose this directory, this is the root, and if you lose this, everything else is gone. Okay, it's coming down from the top. So when we are in here, in slash here, this is the topmost directory here. So this is slash. This is a root directory. Okay. It is a topmost directory.
Sir, I have a question. So, if this is the root directory, then what is the directory where we were working where there is tilde? If we do pwd there, it says it's a root directory.
Okay, who's talking?
This is me, Fasahat.
Okay. All right. Were you here very first day or no?
No, no, sir.
Okay. All right. So Sayed, can you know how to explain this, or any one of you, can you explain this? You know his questions, right? I explained this already. Okay, here. So in Linux we have three things which are referred to as root. Okay. So when you log into the system, you type in the administrative. It's a super user, and this is built in, and you cannot rename it. He's called root. Root is name of the user. Okay. And slash root, when we were here, when we do pwd, so this is called the home directory for the user root. So this is the default original working directory for the user root. When the user log in, he will automatically goes into this directory here. And also slash is also referred to as a root directory. Okay, so when we create later on, when we create a user, a regular user for the system, he will not come into the root directory. Only the user root comes into this directory. So be careful here. There are three things that are referred to as root here. Root is the name of a user. When you log into the system right now, you're logging as root, right? That's you. And the moment you log in, the landing directory is slash root. Root slash root. Okay. So this is the name of the directory also. You cannot rename it. This is a natural original directory that is made here for the root user. And slash is also referred to as root. Okay, it will be a little bit confusing, but once you get a good hang of it, you will know. All right. I answered your question here, but did you understand, or you have more questions?
Yes, sir. I mean, I think slightly hazy, but I think I'll get used to it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So let's move forward here. So you have once you want to go into root directory, you have to do cd slash and root here. So you are right here, very top. There is nothing more on top of it if you want to go, nothing more. This is very at the topmost place of your operating system here. Okay, and in there you have all these directories here. So bin, boot, dev, etc, home. So you see this bin, boot, dev, etc, home, lib. All those directories are in this directory here. if I delete this, if I delete any of these directories here, the operating system will have a serious problem. It will go into serious problem here. Later on, when you're practicing, go ahead and make a copy of this operating system and try to delete all these files in there and see what happens. Okay, all right, let's go over all these directories individually. So /bin. Okay, so what does this directory contains? It contains all the binary user commands. Okay, so I'll tell you. We've been using ls, right? ls so much. So when we do which ls, okay, so actually that command goes into the bin directory here. Which user bin, user bin here. So this is where all the original commands, and then if you try to cat this here, say like for example yum, and if you cat it, all these binary files and the directory structure as in bin directory here. Don't worry about this. You will know what all this here later on here, because as you use it, then all this will become apparently clear to you. So it contains all the binary user commands. Okay, let's keep it that way. And then the next one is /boot. Okay, so /boot. So it contains system bootable file. Okay, all right, so what are system bootable files? These are the files essential for the system to boot up. Okay, and then /dev. What does this contain? All the devices information. So when we have like a physical hard drive and all this, all that information will be sitting in this place. There's a lot of devices here, physical devices as well as soft devices. So we'll go over this not too much, but we will be using this a lot, this directory. Remember we have dev null before. This is where dev null is. When you go into this folder dev/dev/null, this is the device we talked about earlier. Okay, and after dev, we have etc. And this directory contains all the configuration files. Okay, so etc file, it's referred to as etc. So we've been using this etc folder a lot, but it will be referred to as etc here. Which directory when you're talking to your team members, which directory is the file, and you say etc, that means it's etc file. Okay, it's just it's being used so much that it got its own name. Okay, instead of saying etc, it's in etc folder. And next one is /home. So this is the home directory for regular user. Okay, this is the home directory for regular users. We'll see here when we create a regular user, and then when you log in as a regular user, this is where, the moment he logs in, this is where the landing directory would be. Okay, all right, let's see. /lib and /lib64. These two directories, it contains the system library files shared by applications. So you may know in Windows, right? Windows have some system files that is shared by other applications. So we don't need to worry about it too much here, but you could use this. But system automatically uses those shared files here. Like when you're installing something, it uses these files in here to install the application on your system. Okay, and after that, what do we have here? So here the next one is media, and this is just the folder there. This is unused. Okay, and it's just there, but recently it's not being used here, so don't worry about that one. And then what is that? After that is MNT. Okay, MNT folder is there, right? Yeah, MNT. Okay, so this folder is it's usually empty, but used for mounting CD drives, hard drives. Okay, so we'll go more into what mounting is. Okay, so we'll just the class is still starting here. We are not going any deeper. We just completed the basic commands, and then we're looking at the structure here, but there's a lot of other things I'll be talking about. Okay, and /opt. Okay, so this directory contains third-party software files. So when you install like third-party software, those files will come and sit in here, okay? So example will be Oracle database, Postgres database, SAP. You guys probably heard about SAP, right? So all these things, when you install the third-party software, it comes and sit in there, okay? And after OPC, we have PROC. proc, this directory will be used a lot. It contains the active memory information. And the system processes. Okay. And the next one is /root. So I already talked about this here, right? It's a system system admin, which is root, home directory. Okay, so then we have run here. So we have /run, and this is not used. Okay, and after that we have sbin. Okay, so sbin, this has it contains root user commands. So there will be some commands that only the root can run, and those commands are sitting in here. Okay, those commands which are reserved for root is gonna sit here. So all these commands are being reserved for root users, so the commands will sit here. Wow, it has a lot of commands in here. Some of them I have never used it. Some of them we use it a lot. We'll be using a bunch of them a lot of times. Okay, but don't worry about it at this moment. Okay, and after that we have a directory called service, SRV, and it is used as needed during system protocol use. Okay, so there are a bunch of protocols I'll talk about, and this will be used during that time. So the example is FTP, HTTPD, okay, SFTP, and ETC, etc. Okay, we'll talk about that more. And after that, what do we have here? We have sys, and this folder is not used also, sys. Okay, and we have test here. Are we using test? Test folder. Okay, oh no, don't worry about this. Test folder is something I created here. let me remove that folder, rm-rf. Okay. Test folder is a folder that was created by me, so I removed it. Okay, and owner of all these directories is root here. If you see, look at the owner here. The owner is all root here, so you could go in there and do anything you want. Okay, so we talked about sys. And then we have /temp. Temp folder is to keep temporary files. And regular user have access to this too. Okay, and the last one is usr/usr. Okay, it contains a backup of some of the system files and folders. It contains the backup of some of the system files and folders containing optional command. So there will be some optional commands in the system here. It goes and sits in there. Okay, so let me go into bin. So these are all some of the system optional commands here, but I think we will be using it a lot also. And the last one is var. Last one is var /var. It contains system log information. System logs and logs generated by install software. So it's when somebody says check the logs, you will be coming into the logs folder and checking the logs in there. Okay? All right, good. So for these, I would say don't worry about it too much. As you go, you will know this folder is here. I don't remember everything myself here. Usually, if I need to, then I refer back here. But most of the time, you will be using opt and var and temp folder root, well, because you're in root, proc and mnt once in a while. The topmost directory you will be using a lot is etc folder, okay? Oh, okay, all right. So we have learned a lot today already. We got 1 more hour. So let's see what I'm gonna do next is should I do the configuration? Okay, so let's talk about the brief history of Linux here. Okay, so let's do that because you need to know where all this is coming from. So let's see here. 04 26 2020. Okay. Okay, so what happened was AT&T, everybody heard of AT&T, right? So what AT&T did was
Yeah.
AT&T used to known as Bell Labs. Labs in back in 60s. Back in 60s. 1960s, they used to be known as Bell Labs here. So what they did was they created a operating system. Okay, created a operating system called Unix. So Unix operating system was created. Created by AT&T. Okay, they created the operating system and released the operating system. And when was it? The official release date of the operating system is December 31st, 1969. Okay, and so they created the operating system. It was such a nice operating system, but they don't know how to market it. Okay, so AT&T couldn't market it. Market the Unix operating system. Oh yes, to make it profitable. So they were sitting on the operating system for 20 years. So what they did was in 1987 they made it open source. They released the code to the public here. So in 1987 source code was released to public. As an open source operating system. So they said, okay, here's the operating system and you want to do whatever you want to do, go ahead and take advantage of it. If you could make it profitable, or if you want to make it your own operating system, go ahead and do it. So what happened, what they did was, big companies, they didn't realize the potential, but they took the code, IBM, they took it, and then they said we'll make our own operating system using this, and they call it AIX. Okay, and it uses IBM hardware. Okay, and HP also did the same thing, and they call it HP UX, and it only works on HP hardware. Okay, and then Sun Microsystem, they did the same thing, and they call it Solaris. Okay, it uses Sun platform. So if you want to get a AIX operating system, what you have to do is you have to buy the hardware from the IBM itself. So one time I heard, if you want to get like an IBM server, it costs up to $1 million, $1 million to get the hardware from the IBM. So you could imagine it's not cheap. Operating system was cheap, operating system was free, but the hardware is not free. So they were making money out of that way. But what happened in 1991, this guy named Linus Torvalds, this is named after him. His name is Linus, Linus Torvalds. I think he's a Swedish guy. He took the code and released the operating system called Linux. Released OS called Linux for free. Okay, he messed around with this and he released the operating system. And what are the benefits of Linux operating system? So it is a hardware independent. Okay, and it's free, but support is not free. So you could we just downloaded this operating system here, right? If we are using it in a real production environment, and if we run into any problems, then they said you have to pay for the support, which is very expensive. And then anybody could take the source code and create their own operating system. So OS must be free to the public. So we downloaded CentOS. It's free, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, is it's free to the public here, but you could make money out of either you could make money out of when they come for a support here. If they run into any problems, if they need support, then you could charge them money here. And one other thing is, this is secure. This is very, very secure. It is highly secure operating system. and new tools are added. In new releases. Okay, and new release is called distribution. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at the Linux distributions here.
Sir, how different are Unix commands from Linux? Is it like very different? If you're a Linux user, can you use Unix?
You know, the Unix, some of the commands are very same, but there are some commands that were invented later on. Unix has a limited number of commands here. So if you compare with Linux and Unix, Unix is not, I don't think it's being used in its original form now. Okay, the source code is same, the seed is same, seed of the operating system is same, but what is built on top of it is different now. So also I couldn't give you the exact answer because I didn't really work directly on the Unix
Okay.
operating system, but I would comfortably say 99% of the operating system being used out there is Linux, be it a Red Hat or Oracle Linux or whatever. So we'll go into the distribution of the Linux here. So the one we are using is Red Hat. Okay, and the Red Hat is the paid version for the support, and the CentOS, which we downloaded here, is the version that Red Hat releases. Red Hat releases one for the public and one for the corporation. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and CentOS is also community. What is Community Enterprise Operating System? That's what CentOS stands for. Okay, and it's all being released by the company name Red Hat. Okay, and there is another operating system called Fedora. Those are all the same operating system. Okay, and there is a company called Oracle. They took the Linux code and created Oracle Operating Enterprise Linux. OEL stands for Oracle Enterprise Linux. I worked on Oracle and Red Hat. I barely saw any difference, what the difference is, okay? And there is another operating system by SUSE. It's a German company, and they use mostly for installing SAP on it. SUSE Linux, and mostly used for SAP. Okay, and there is another called Debian, and it's been released by the company named Debian. I'm not sure, but there is an Linux operating system. You could download all these here. Okay, Ubuntu. You could download this Ubuntu operating system and fool around with it. I think this is South African. Ubuntu, okay. And your iOS is by Apple. All this is running Linux based, or Linux, or iOS, Mac OS. All these are Linux here, and Android. Android by Google is nothing but it's Linux. If you are able to hack into this folder's root directory, you're gonna see nothing but same exact folders in there. You're gonna see same exact folders in there. If you have an Android phone, you may be able to find some videos online and you may be able to try to figure out what's in there. But if you look underneath the hood, these are all the directories in there. I won't be surprised if you find same exact directories in there, okay? Because it's nothing but Linux. Okay, and within here, there is a category called RPM. RPM, we'll know what this RPM is a little bit later. RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. So Red Hat company, they came up with how the packages or the software is installed on the operating system, and it has become a standard now. If they ask you, did you ever worked on RPM operating system, that means yeah, you probably do. So that means it is one of these would be Red Hat and Oracle, Red Hat Linux, Oracle Linux, and SUSE Linux, and Debian also. And there are many more out there. I won't be able to tell you everything here, but these are all the operating systems that is using the Red Hat Package Manager base. Okay, so there is a lot more history to it, but I thought this is the general one you should know. Okay. Okay, so we have another good half hour. So what I'll do is we'll work on user management here, creating the users and all this. Okay. So there are two things here: permissions and user management. They go hand in hand. So we'll talk about that now. So give me a moment here. Let's take a 2-minute break here, okay? And we'll come back in 2 minutes. So I'm back here. Permissions. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna start the user administration. User. Okay. So let's talk about the root. You see my screen now? You see me typing?
No, I guess it's stuck.
What?
Yeah, I can't see anything. It's just
Yeah, it's not working. It's just stuck.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll work on user administration here. So uh, let's talk more about the root admin here. So let's see. So I think I talked enough here. The root is the user you log in as, and he's a super user. And root user has a highest level of access. Okay, and root user cannot be renamed and never share the password with anybody. Okay, and don't email chat. And then this user will have you will have the access to all the company's data. All the sensitive data inside your company, you will be, as a root user, you will be able to see all that here. There is absolutely no question about it that a root user could do anything and everything with the system. So it comes with some responsibility. Don't use it and don't misuse it, and then don't share the password with anybody. Things like that. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna create a user. Let's see. Let me create a user here. So I'm back to my home directory. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a command, user add. You guys could follow along with me. Okay, so you do user add and you type Zafar. It will create the username with the name Zafar. Okay, so it created the user, and then what happens was this: when you run the command user add Zafar, it updates the directory here. It updates a file. Okay, so which file it updates? So I'm gonna go into cat etc the file name password passwd, not the whole word password. Okay, this is the file that keeps the user information in there, and when you hit enter, you see on the bottom here that the user Zafar is created. Okay, and this part is for, okay, so let me copy this here. User add Zafar. I already told you, wherever you find a command with uppercase or something, it's all lowercase here. My Word document is auto correcting it. Okay, you shouldn't be panicking about this. So when you run the command username Zafar, the user is added to the file etc password. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Okay, all right, so before that, let's set the password for user. So you set the username as username, but that doesn't mean the password is set. So you have to set the password here also. So what is the command you set the password? passwd Zafar, and then it will tell you to change the password. So it's asking you to enter the new password. So enter the password. You won't see it. So it says all authentication tokens were successful. Okay, so let's go into cat etc password. And you see all these things is updated here. Okay, but
Ask you one question.
yeah, go ahead.
So when we were doing the password, and I used my name, and then it says when we get into the new password, I said the password, and then it says that the password is shorter than 8 characters. So what do I do then? Do I type another password? Is that?
No, don't worry about it. Just hit enter. I got the same thing here.
Just hit
Don't
what?
worry about it. Just retype the password you give. It will accept it because you're using as a
Okay.
root user. Root user, all these things doesn't apply for the root
Got
user.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, good. You have somebody else had a question? Okay, so we went into the etc password file and let's break this down here, what this means, okay? So how many fields we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. So okay, so in here, if we break all this down here, the very first field here, I don't want that. Okay, the very first field, Zafar, is, what is this? This is a user ID. Okay. And then the second field, X, this is a password field. Okay. And the third field is user, no, this is username. This is username. Okay, this is, first one is a username. And the second field is password field. I'll explain that to you when we get to password here. And the third field we have here is 1000. 1000 is what? User ID. User ID. Usually you go with UID. Short is UID. Okay. And then this part here, 1000 again, this is group ID. Group ID. Short for GID. Okay. And then /home/Zafar. This is the home directory. Remember I was talking about home directory? /Zafar. This is the, when we log in as Zafar, the home directory will be, this is where the user will be thrown into when moment he logs in. And then /bin/bash. This is what the user would be using as a bin bash. He would be running the commands from this bin bash. So it's called shell type. Shell type is /bin/bash. Okay, now let me clear the screen. So if you do ID Zafar, so what it gives you is here, there's some more information here. UID, user ID 1000 is Zafar here. Okay, group ID, and then GID is Zafar 1000 because this is the default numbers, and then the groups Zafar belong to is 1000. Okay. Now we set the password here, right? PASSWD Zafar. Now you could also go and take a look at the password file. Okay, so where is the password file? So we could do cat /etc/shadow. Let me clear this. Cat etc/shadow. This is the password file here. And when you see here, when you see down on the bottom here, okay, so this is Zafar here, and from here to here, this is the password here. This is the password for the user Zafar.
Sir, can you just repeat it again, like what you just typed to see this? See this phrase?
Yeah. So I typed this is what I typed, cat etc shadow. Okay, when I type this here, and then if I zero in for user Zafar, this is what it is. So let's see here, I may have to break this down also. Okay, so this part, so let's see here. Okay, so let's break this down here. I'm gonna put in 6 1. I'm gonna get 6 fields here, and I'm gonna break this down what it all means. Okay, so the very first one is user ID, a username, which is Zafar, right? And then the second field is starting from here. It starts from here and it ends here. So this is the password here. What the Linux does is it takes the password and it converts into the alphanumeric characters here, and it's an encrypted password. What you're seeing here is a password encryption. It's an encrypted password. So this field is password. So I'm not gonna put everything in here. I'm gonna put like a little bit of that password here. That means you could understand this is a password field. Okay, so you could copy this and then assign it to another user, and that user will have the same exact password. Okay, and this part here, this field here, 18 18378. Okay, so what does this means is this was created today. So but today, how is it determining this date here? This date is determining since the start of Unix operating system. So when was the Unix operating system started? I gave you guys a date here, like earlier. The Unix operating system was created
31st December
1969. Very good. Yeah,
1969, yes.
Yeah. So this is since December 31st, 1969. Okay, so this is a date stamp here. So if you put on Google, if you goes like days since December 31st. Okay, so you see it already knows that. 1969. So 18,379 days. Okay, this is what we have, 18,378 days here. So our system is probably, this information is 79 is because this is on a Greenwich time here. It's the London time. It's already next day here, right? Or no? Well, let's look at our system time here first. System time. Date is April 26, 10:48 p.m. 18,378 days. So Google is saying it's been 79 days, but actually it is 78 days. So 78 days is not complete yet. Okay, but Google is saying 79 days. I don't know what is basing that off. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this website is saying 18,378 days since December 31st. So let's go with this one here. Okay. Did it make any difference? Did it make any sense here? All these things are very important. This is all these things make very important here when the Linux operating system it's running. You're running a nuclear power plant or stock market or submarines or weapons. All these things matter here. So this is what it is. So it's an interesting fact here that it is counting from the date it was produced or released to the public. Okay. All right. And then the next field here it says a 0 here. So it is a grace period since the password will expire. So the password will expire in 0 days here. So grace period. So when the password expires, it just expires. It's not going to give any grace period, okay? And then it has like 5 nines here, 9999. That means this, how many days, when is this password is going to expire? So it's going to expire, we set this password to never expire here, okay? So when you have like 5 nines like this, it will probably never expire. You got like year 9,999. So we are in year 2000. So we have, so I'm predicting nobody would be alive till then. So don't worry about it. So the password you could comfortably say is not going to expire. And it says the last number is 7 here. So when the ID, after the expiration, the ID will be disabled in 7 days. So disabled days. So it will tell that once the password has expired, it will be disabled in 7 days. Here, this is not natural here. It will change when you actually run the system here. It will be. The password usually expires in 60 days. Every 60 days, user have to put in the new password here. That's what usually the company does is. Okay.
Sir, can you tell me what do you mean by ID will be disabled in 7 days?
So, you know how you would get when you go into work, you log in. It tells you you have like 7 days. In 7 days, the password will expire. And if you don't change the password, it'll come back again next day and says that the password will expire in 6 days. Okay, if you continue ignoring it, by 7th day, you won't be able to log in at all. Okay.
So what is the reason? Like you put the ID in the system forever to log in by yourself instead of someone else gonna log in. So after keep on 7 days, you have to make a new ID, or you just have to.
No. The regular user, after 7 days, it will prompt you to change the password. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, right now, this
you
is.
But you have an expiration date of 60 days. You said right now.
Yeah. So let's see this expiration. If it's this 60 days, right?
Hmm.
So on 53 days from now, what will happen is it will start prompting you that the password is going to expire. Okay, you have to change the password. It will give you the prompt.
Okay.
Did it ever happen when you at work, when you log in with your username and ID, it will tell you that password is expiring?
Yes, I know that part of which I can understand, but I'm just a little bit confused about the ID thing. Like after every 7 days, you have to change your ID.
No, no,
Is
no, no,
this
no.
the way, right?
No, ID will be disabled. That means you won't be able to log in at all. So you have to get in touch with the admin and he will take a look and he will enable the ID.
Oh, okay.
So at the 6th day you came in and you said it will tell you that change the password, the password will expire tomorrow, right?
Okay.
So today you put in and you continue putting your old password, it works. When you come in the morning, tomorrow morning, when you put in the ID and the password, it says it's not valid. The ID is not valid. It will stop you from logging in to begin with. Okay, that's what it means is the ID is disabled. So what admin will do is admin will log in and then create a new password and enable the ID.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, all right. So there are other fields in here. It's not showing here. So as we move along, we will work on that. And then let's see here, group. ID Zafar. Okay, and also for groups, you could go into cat etc group and hit enter. And this is the group information here. So let's break this down here.
So what did you say? A group?
Yeah, cat etc group.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, let me break this down here. It's only 3. Okay, so first one is Zafar. Second one is X. And third one is group. So first one is the user group name. In this, by default, it created a Zafar as a group name here. Unless we didn't specify what group he's going to belong to. It just created a user as a group name as same as Zafar. So here it's not an ID here, it's a group name. And then when you have the X there, it will check for the password. And then this is a group ID. So when we looked earlier here, group ID is 1000 here. And it's not showing the group name there, but group name is Zafar.
It's gonna be always the group ID is gonna be always like a 1000, or it can be changed.
It can be changed. Very good. By default is 1000. Usually you could change that too. So we'll work on that, changing it also. Okay, so how do you log in here? So right click here on the top and click on new session or duplicate session. And here log in, it says you just type Zafar there, hit enter and the password. Okay, now you see I'm logged in as Zafar, and then this is the host name, and if you do pwd, this is your home directory. You're not in root anymore. For Mac, open the terminal one more time. Search for terminal and launch it again.
Okay.
And then type this here, user ID at the IP address.
Okay. It's not opening another one. It's just I'm staying on the same screen the same terminal that I am on.
Okay. So from the menus, you should be able to open another window. Go up into the menus in here and see if you could open new.
Okay. Like from the file, or should I go from the?
On the top, you
New
have
tab,
menus,
no.
right?
On my terminal?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. No, I'm confused.
It says press Command N. Click.
Where do I do that?
No, make sure the terminal window, you are in terminal window, just do Command N and see what happens.
Oh, there. I see it. Yeah.
A new window popped up, right?
Right. Yeah.
So in there, type your user ID at IP address.
Oh, okay. The IP address that I was using, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to end here. We are almost end of time. So tomorrow or maybe next week, we'll catch up on this here. Okay, so guys, very careful. We are going in a deep learning now, and don't miss any class here. If you're going to be missing any class, let me know ahead. Then I'll tweak what I'm going to be teaching that day, based on everybody. Looks like everybody's here today. Yeah. But if you think you're going to be missing, let me know. I'll try to slow down a little bit. And we kind of have learned a lot of stuff today. This is a lot of stuff.
Can I ask you another?
Yeah.
So when I try doing that, it's saying command not found. So I did Alia at my 192.168.56. Yeah. So I did the.
It's the same thing for me as well.
Did you create one user?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
So on your terminal for the Windows, what did you do? For the Windows, I told you to just on here on the top, right click and click duplicate session. And you have a new window that popped up, right? No, for you, don't type, for Windows guys, don't type @ just type the username.
Oh, okay.
And then the password. And on your terminal for Mac,
yeah,
type the name like this, @
okay,
and then the IP address.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. let me stop recording and let me connect to your team viewer. Okay, hold on.